Hello, 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 everybody, and welcome to another Toonkind at 12 FPS. My name is Mira, and I will be playing Sammy Jax today. And with me is my very wonderful friend.
Hello, I'm Cherry, and I'm playing Amy Fibeous.
Who we love very, 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 very much.
I'm really excited. I love them both.
I am just so very excited. Uh, Amy, it is a wonderful day in Toontown. It is starting to edge towards fall ish. The leaves are kind of starting to turn maybe slightly yellow and stuff. Still have most of their leaves. The greenery is still pretty bright and fresh. It's not a super hot day, but it's also not a really chill day. It's just kind of one of those nice in between temperatures.
Perfect day.
Yeah, just a perfect day. A few puffy clouds in the sky, but like not enough to signify that there's a storm coming or anything like that. It's just a really nice day outside. And you are, if correct me if I'm wrong, are heading to a gardening store to say hello to some plants.
This is pretty much what she does when she's bored. Amy spends a lot of her time in her garden. So whenever she just feels like not doing that, she'll go into a town or somewhere nearby and just sit in the store and say hi to plants.
Mm-hmm.
Make sure they're all doing okay.
Yeah. Well, as soon as like you enter into this store full of its really pretty flowers and very lush uh, bushes and shrubbery and stuff, roll me a perception real quick.
Okay. Why does she have a? That's fine. I didn't realize she had a good modifier for that. 23!
Ooh, a 23. Let me just really quickly roll perception for myself. That was a 3 plus 4, so that is a 7. um, so, Amy, you immediately see the tall, the 6-foot Frankenelli Toon who is holding a very large pot of flowers in his arms. And you immediately see right away that he does not see you! And he's heading right for your direction.
Oh no. Oh. Are the plants like obscuring his vision completely?
Yes, they are just tall and very flush, and he just does not see anything. You're covering his vision completely.
I don't think she would have the brain to say anything. She just kind of steps to the side and then follows him.
And he sets the flower down kind of close to the front of the gardening store, kind of turns it a little bit so it's getting a nice amount of sun, and then turns around and about jumps 10 feet in the air for comedic effect. His shading going very bright sky blue for a moment. He's like, oh,
Hello.
hi, sorry, I did not see you there. Hello, hi, um, hi.
Oh, I haven't seen you here before. Oh, you're not a flower, but you're just as pretty.
Oh, thank you. Um, and you start seeing his shading turn pink. And he kind of just rubs at the back of his head a little bit. It's very obvious that he's blushing alongside his pink shading. Um, yeah, I decided to volunteer here at this gardening store in exchange for some gardening supplies. Hi, Sammy Jax. Nice to meet you. And he holds out his hand for Amy to shake.
She gives him a high five.
He'll take it. He'll high five her back.
Hello, my name is oh, hold on, it's been a while since I've done this. Amy Fibeous.
Nice to meet you, Amy. What what brings you to the shop? Can I help you with anything?
Normally I just say hi to all the plants. Uh, I I thought you were interesting, so I just followed you.
Oh, thanks. Um, what's your favorite flower here that you usually like to say hi to?
Well, I don't really know the names of all of them. They won't tell me. But and then she just like without even waiting for him to say anything or follow, she just walks away.
Mm-hmm. Uh, Sammy is very used to small tunes not really giving him like a, hey, I'm going this way, Coda. He quickly follows her.
she she like gets lost and then turns around and then goes back the other way and back and forth for a few seconds and then finally stops at a pretty large it kind of looks like I don't remember the name of the flower, but it's a large yellow one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Sammy kind of oohs and ahs over the flower that Amy shows him, and he just kind of nods and is like, "Yep, yeah, this is a good flower to have a friend as."
Well, it's not very talkative.
Yeah, no, the garden the garden variety of flowers tend to be a lot more shy. Um, they're the shy type. Um,
Hmm. What did you say this place was called?
I'm just gonna be creative and say that it's called the gardening store.
Oh,
That's
I
what
hope
it's called. Because I am not
gardening
creative.
store.
Why are you at soup? Why are you looking for clothes in the soup store? But no, it is a
the
gardening shop called the Gardening Shop.
the gardening store shop. What?
Yeah, it's a kind of literal. This is the gardening shop. The place where you
I
can
don't know
buy.
what that means.
Basically, you can get gardening supply stuff here to help the plants grow.
Oh, you can just take things?
Well, you first gotta pay for them with coins. And I'm just gonna roll my d10. Okay, that was a 7. And he pulls out a small pouch of his own currency and kind of pulls out one of his gold coins and shows it to Amy. Usually, you'll pay with this.
She just kind of stares at it for a second. She kind of mumbles under her breath, "That's not a flower?"
Yeah, no, but with gold, you can purchase things like stuff for garden. Uh, Basically, like you can buy more soil, some more seeds, some more plant buddies for the rest of your plants in your garden, with certain amounts of these coins. And the person who runs the store uses these coins to help get more of those supplies and also keeps this store neat and tidy.
He learns about currency.
Look, Sammy struggled too when he was younger. He gets this.
I didn't know what those were for. I have a lot of those. I thought they were just funky rocks.
Well, they are a type of rock, I think. Tink, tink, tink. It's metallic.
That's another large word. I want some plants.
Okay, I can get you some plants. What are you looking for? Like,
I think you cut out of it, Mira. Uh-oh.
Uh-oh. He was like, okay, I can help with that. What are you looking for?
Okay. I've never seen any of the kind of plants that I've got here. Uh, they're all different. They're all different. I don't know if they do well over there.
Mm. Well, if you want, you could maybe take me to your garden and we can see what the kind of conditions are, and maybe then I can recommend you some plants.
Oh, oh, would you do that? Oh, that's great!
Mm-hmm. You could
Come
give
on,
me...
come on. I'm
Yeah.
gonna show you my home. And
Okay.
she like grabs his arm and yanks him out the door.
Okay. And he goes with... And, like, there are some other people in the gardening store that would mind the shop. So Sammy's not just leaving his place of volunteer work to
Oh, good,
be
good.
robbed or anything. There are other people around. Like, the owner kind of just gives him an amused glance because they're very used to Sammy getting dragged into plot.
This happens. It's fine.
Yep. This happens. This is fine. He is off to the races now.
Oh, I think Sammy's gonna be the first person who's ever actually visited Amy's garden.
Aw.
All right. So, it's not. I don't know how. It's kind of a long run, jog ish.
Mm-hmm.
Amy's certainly running. It's not in town at all. Um, she takes him completely out of town, out into the forest, and they keep going for a while, and it's very clear they're very isolated by now, and they stop at a little red gate. Okay, this is home.
Oh, this is pretty far out. Huh, it's pretty nice out here.
And instead of opening the gate like a normal person would, Amy jumps over it.
uh, I'm just gonna do real quick. Let's see. Should I do acrobatics or athletics? I think it's the safe modifier, so I'm just gonna do athletics. That was a 15 plus 2. He just kind of climbs over the fence.
Okay. Why don't you do perception?
All right, that is 17 plus 4 is 21.
Okay, great. Now I have to think stuff up. All right. Well, the first thing you notice is that this place is really overgrown.
Mm-hmm.
And not like in a oh, it's over control and everything is fighting each other and it's all, you know, wild. It's not like that. It's clearly well taken care of, but it's to the point where everything is way too big.
Mm-hmm. Nothing's been like trimmed back, or it's just all
Yeah.
very lush and growing and wild.
Exactly. The second thing you notice is around the entrance and the gate, around your feet, there are these little purple flowers lining the pathway, and they are whispering.
Sammy kind of blinks at that and is just kind of like nods to himself because tunes. This is a tune thing. These are tune flowers.
You can make out one of them is complimenting your outfit.
Oh. Sammy kind of just nods back at the flowers and it's just like, thank you. Your color is very pretty as well.
You can see it get embarrassed and the bud closes up a bit, but the others are still really happily complimenting you and Amy.
Oh, I hold these flowers soft, and like Sammy's shading has gone to like a very golden yellow, airbrushed with pink, as he's looking around and just This is a good environment. This is a good place. He already approves.
Uh, Amy notices the little interaction and she goes, "Oh, these ones are called sweet peas. They're very sweet. They told me their name." And she kind of like pats its petals.
Mm-hmm. Sammy grins at that and is just like, they are very sweet.
I have lots of flowers, lots of flowers. These ones like to stay near the front though.
Mm-hmm.
So if we get any of them over, and she just kind of points in some direction, um, I don't know, there or there, I always move them over here so they're all happy and together.
Sammy nods because it's nice to have fellow people close by where you're comfy and stuff. He gets it.
Okay. How do you pick flowers? How do you not pick flowers? No, I'm sorry. I would never pick any of you. How would you pick flowers to bring
To move them?
mm, from the place, from the building?
Mm-hmm. Well, how we do it is they're in little temporary pots oftentimes, and when we when you pick a flower, you can then basically take them out from the soil, with soil still around their roots, of course. And then you're able to dig a little hole where they want to be and where they'll flourish, and you can plant them and they can be happy in the ground.
Yes, I know that part, but how do you know if it's a good place for them to be? Because those ones don't tell me.
Yeah. Uh, the shy ones, you often have to learn more by trial and error watching them or asking someone who's more familiar, like me. Oftentimes, there are certain plants that enjoy more shade, some that enjoy more moist conditions, some more dry conditions. Uh, there are often it depends on when they want to be watered and such. Uh, Depending
I
on what type of flower, you can basically, if you point out where you think some flowers might, where you think some flowers, sorry, let me try and word this right. If you
right, it's
have a
right.
place that you think would benefit from flowers, I can tell you what flowers in the shop would like being there.
Well, it's getting kind of crowded over here, so I don't think this is a very good spot for any new ones. But there's an open field near the back, kind of.
Mm. Okay, and with your open field, is it often more sunny or is it more shady?
Depends on how far in you are. It's pretty sunny if you go out into the middle, but if you stay near where all the trees are, then it's nice and cool.
Mm-hmm. Sammy nods to himself, and he just kind of looks at you and is like, "Do you want to start out with maybe some that are closer in, so it's a little bit more that they get more shade?"
Oh, yeah, yeah, okay.
All right. And this is Mira realizing that they really should have done their research and had a list of flowers that.
Yep, no, they didn't though.
Nope. This is completely improv, so I'm just honestly probably going to be making up made up flowers on the fly.
Oh,
Here.
that's fine, that's fine.
Mainly just stating that out loud right now for our listeners who might yell at me for incorrect flowers otherwise, because I am not going to be looking up flowers, even though that could be a really quick Google search. And Sammy kind of nods and is like, all right, there's a few flowers I can think of that would really enjoy the shade. Why don't you show me where where the beginning of the meadow, the field is, and we can figure out where I can see more how much shade we're talking for
Oh,
most of the
okay.
day.
Okay, I'll show you. I'll show you. And once again, without another word, she just turns around and leaves. um,
Sammy's
she
following.
she seems to know where she's going, like really,
Mm-hmm.
really well. She's been here as long as she can remember. But it to Sammy, it looks like a maze, pretty much.
Mm-hmm. But like, it makes sense that she would know where she's going, considering this is home for her.
Yeah. There's like a side. I can make it like a little pit stop for a little thing, but I don't know if I want to do that. That's
I'm fine
hmm.
with doing whatever if you'd like.
You want to stop by another patch of flowers?
Sure.
Okay, these are an interesting one. Uh, do you want to start? Well, hmm.
Do you want me to maybe roll perception?
The thing is, I don't know if you can see these. They're pretty low to the ground, and also they just kind of surprise you.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if it maybe Constitution or Wisdom.
I'll roll wisdom just to see how much Sammy startles. He got a nat 20.
Okay, how do I describe this? You hear you hear more flowers, but you don't hear them out loud. You kind of like you know that they're speaking to you. Um, and over to your right, just down on the ground, there's a really, really, really large patch of these red and yellow flowers, and they are lulling you to sleep. They're these are blanket flowers, and they want you to take a nap.
Sammy, I feel like, just kind of shakes his head for a moment and just kind of points at them and is like, I will come back for a nap later. I have things I need to do with Amy. And he just kind of points at them and like kind of just as he's walking he's just kind of has that like I'm watching you.
Yeah. Another thing is around that same area where there's just a really large bed of blanket flowers. There's a lot of junk just like strung up in the trees above it and around it. Um, it's like random items that should be in a house but are very much outside.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, there's not a house here at all.
Hmm. Sammy
I
kind of notes that, but like he kind of doesn't fully say anything because Amy is a frog toon.
Yep.
Who's he to judge?
I think by now they're gonna get to the edge of the meadow though.
Mm-hmm.
Well, this is it.
Okay. Sammy's just gonna really quickly roll perception. That was 4, which is 18. Does anything kind of stand out when he's looking at the meadow?
It's a meadow. It's definitely a meadow. There's a lot of other lively, very clearly tuned flowers nearby, but they're not really doing as much as the others were.
Mm-hmm.
I think far off across the meadow you can see another gate. But other than that, it's just
It's a normal meadow for the most
what
part.
it's a meadow.
Okay, and like with the shade of the trees, it's pretty much a more constant shade. Yeah.
Yeah. There's like Amy said before. There's like a straight out into the middle of the meadow. There is a large bright spot that's like directly in the sun. But
Mm-hmm.
toward the edges, there are a lot of trees that are covering everything.
Mm-hmm. And casting shade and stuff. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Sammy kind of just takes a look at all of this and like just kind of nods to himself. And it's like, okay. So I'm thinking that what would best suit your meadow is some night bells. We have
That's
some,
expensive.
yeah, we have some back in the shop. They're these really pretty violet colored bell shaped plants.
Are they
And
hard to take care of?
oh no, they just they prefer the shade. Like the name, they're night bells. They tend to come out at night for the most part, and when the breeze particularly will uh, come up by them, they'll when the breeze runs by them, they will actually ring and play little songs.
Oh, that sounds so nice. Oh, I would love to see those.
hmm Yeah, I can show you. Come on, if you take me back to Toontown, I can get us back to the shop, and I can get you some.
Hey, I have to remember where that is. I'm gonna roll for something then. Amy does not, in fact, remember how to get back to town.
Oh, bless.
They probably get back to the front of her garden and she goes, uh, which way?
Okay, that was. Goodness gracious bless for Sammy's +5 in survival. It's above average, so I think by the time that they actually manage to get out of the garden and stuff, Sammy can kind of see the path that they came down from.
Oh, thank God for Sammy. Okay.
And so Sammy's able to actually take them back to Toontown, and they make their way back to the shop. And Sammy pulls down from one of the more shadowy sides, like one of the parts of the shop that are more, it's kept darker. There aren't any overhead lights on, and the windows are shaded. And as he's picking up uh, the night bells, they start kind of with the movement of him moving the pot. They kind of just softly give like a kind of sleepy little ting 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 ting, like just very nice, pretty clear bells.
Oh, that's so nice. I love that. um, Amy probably just whispers hello to them and waves, even though, it's.
They're the shy type of plants, and like Sammy kind of has like he feels like they'll probably gain more personality by the time that they are in Amy's garden. He's pretty sure. Because this is Toontown.
Of course, of course.
Magic makes things have personalities here.
Oh, Amy's excited though. Um, she probably rummages in her hat, and I should probably make a roll for that, huh?
If you're pulling hammer space. Fumble!
How did I? The fumble sheet was the one thing that I couldn't find. Nice.
Oh no. Did you make a personalized one for her, or?
I did.
Oh. Oh no.
Let me see if I can find that.
I will look for the general fumble sheet just in case you can't find yours.
All right, all right. I tried to pull it up before, but I couldn't find it. Maybe it's. I showed it here before.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, I sent it. I sent it to Marzi. I sent it to Marzi.
Huzzah for sending it in friends DMs.
There we go. Okay.
Hey! Yay!
All right. 5. What's 5? What's 5? Uh, Amy pulls out of her hat a little watering can shaped like an elephant.
Oh.
She just drops that on the ground and tries again. Okay, that's better. And this time she pulls out a handful of coins, just holds it out to Sammy.
Okay. So, one pot of night bells is. I'm just gonna say 3 gold. You don't actually have to detract it from your gold sheet since this is the actual this is just an FPS, and like Sammy just kind of gently basically shows Amy how to count out the gold, and I'm actually gonna roll. I was trying to roll stealth, but he got a nat 1. So, Amy, you very clearly see Sammy basically slipping 3 gold back into your little bag from his own bag.
She pulls it out again, and she still has like the few left in her hand, and then she pulls that out too, and hands. Now both of her hands are full of gold, and she's just holding it out to him.
Sammy just kind of sighs and takes the gold. He's just like his shading has been consistently just gold edged with rose.
I love him. I love him so much.
And Sammy is very Sammy loves you. He loves Amy. He is very fond of this small frog tune.
Amy probably stuffs the remaining gold that was in her hands back into her hat, and she pulls it back down onto her head and goes, "Oh, does that mean I can have the plant now?"
Mm-hmm. Yep, you can have the night. You can have the night bells. And he hands over the pot to Amy.
No, she probably hugs it then.
He smiles at that, and he says, "You can put them in your hammer space. They will be safe if you do."
Thank you, thank you. And she puts it on her head, puts the hat back on over there at that, and they're in her hammer space now.
And Sammy grins, and he turns and looks at some of the potted plants that are kind of to the side, and he kind of rubs at the back of his head. It's like, okay, I was actually going to be picking out a few flowers myself. I had to fix my garden a little while back, so I have to.
You have a garden too?
Mm-hmm. Yep, it's one of the reasons why I come here.
Can I see yours?
Of course, you showed me you showed me your home. I can show you mine, certainly.
She gets really, really excited and just kind of tackle hugs him and goes, "Oh, thank you, thank you," and
Oh, I'm just Amy, you you have triggered just.
Hey, do you want to do a quick insight, actually?
Yeah, I'm gonna roll insight. Okay, that was actually a good roll. Okay, that was 16 plus 1. 17.
You forgot your name.
She forgot Sammy's name?
She forgot Sammy's name. She's really excited, and she loves Sammy a lot now, because now they're best friends. Now they're absolutely best friends. But she doesn't know his name anymore.
I don't even know if Sammy actually introduced himself.
No, he did. He did.
Oh,
I
okay.
remember that.
Okay,
Amy
good.
doesn't.
I did not remember in the euphoria of the RP sauce. I did not remember if he had or not. He kind of gently doesn't like take off the hat and stuff, but he did kind of just like that, like like the hair ruffle, except he kind of jostles her hat a tiny bit,
Oh, I love him.
and he's just like, "It's Sammy, Amy. My name's Sammy. It's okay. I forget names too."
I knew that. I knew that. I knew that. Did not know that.
He just kind of gently laughs and boops her on the nose, and then holds out his hand for her to take. Come on, I'll show you. I'll show you my garden.
Okay, okay. And yeah, no, she's holding his hand.
Just I Cherry, I hope you know that Sammy basically has mentally adopted this frog. There's no going back.
Oh,
You triggered the, oh, this is a younger reading person I must protect and just be their friend and take care and
oh, they're so good.
he cares very much already.
Uh,
So
so does
yeah.
Amy. Oh.
so so as you're going through Toontown, I want you to make a perception roll.
Absolutely. That was +4, surprisingly. 21.
Oh, okay, with a dirty 21, you immediately notice when you guys have reached one of like kind of exiting out of the shopping area of Toontown. You're crossing the street together. Sammy is holding your hand, and in the middle of the street, you take a step, and it's as if you're stepping over an invisible boundary. And all of the all of the sound around you stops. If you glance behind you, you can still see people going about their own business, but you don't hear any of the chatter about just the normal city sounds. You don't hear anything of that. It's just pure silence. And as you look ahead, there is no one there. It is dead silent. And it's kind of. You get the sensation of, like, almost it being, like, sharp, but it doesn't dig in.
This probably makes sense to Amy. It wouldn't to anyone. If this actually happened, it wouldn't make sense to me or any other real person. But to Amy, this definitely makes sense. She probably goes, "Oh, that's weird" at first, and then after realizing that there's no one forward, but there's people backward. Oh, okay, yeah, that checks out.
And with that 21, you can notice that this area that Sammy is leading you through and guiding you around, more of like the rundown stuff. It's a lot more rundown and sketchy, like literal sketchiness. Like there's the outlines of the buildings and everything are very sketchy and faded.
Mm-hmm.
And the windows are broken. It's very clearly an abandoned part of Toontown.
Huh, I don't think I've ever been this far in.
Yeah, it's not a lot of people go here. And Sammy guides you to where there is an old abandoned theater. The words that would have displayed what play was going on when is clearly eroded away with time. But he doesn't go into the theater. He guides you down through an alleyway on the side of it and pries open a slat off of an old dilapidated fence that has paint peeling off, and gestures for you to step inside his garden.
Yeah, Amy absolutely steps in. It's a garden. She's excited.
And I want I do
probably
want you
doesn't
to
like
roll perception. I do want you to
Percep-
roll perception. Sorry.
Let's go again. 11.
Okay. And you were saying something, sorry, before I interrupted with asking
no,
you to
it's
roll.
She probably doesn't actually pay much mind to the rundown sketchiness of the area. She's just excited to see the garden.
Plus her. I love her so much.
So what? It's a little more quiet than over there. It's fine.
You don't see much at first. You hear the running babbling of a fountain. You can't really see where the fountain is. And you see a lot of very sketchy looking weeds that are like more just violent brushes of color and kind of a yellowishy, not quite very pleasant looking grass and stuff, kind of darted around the garden. It's very obvious that Sammy has been hard at work pulling those weeds up and putting them in a pile, because they obviously do not belong here. But there are scattered around are rainbow flowers, and as you look up, you see these gilded roses on green vines that are intertwined around on the trees. And as the sun goes behind a cloud, you can see that these roses glow in the dim lighting.
Mira, that's gorgeous.
And also, with that 11, you do see a painting propped up against a tree.
There's a lot already. Amy's just like looking around, spinning in a circle, looking at every little thing. And I think what draws her attention first, though, is the rainbow flowers.
They're all kind of dotted around. They look more akin to wildflowers, especially with them being surrounded by the weeds. But you also notice that there are a few that have been gently cultivated up into planter boxes as well, where they seem a lot happier and more vibrant.
I hope you realize Amy's going to say hello to each and every one of them.
Oh, bless. Oh.
She spends a few minutes going from flower to flower, greeting them.
Yeah, Sammy just kind of like leans up against a tree and just watches this unfold. His shading has not changed from gold airbrushed rose.
Love him. So how about that painting, huh?
Yep. Are you going to investigate said painting?
I do. I want to.
All right. As you approach, Sammy follows suit and picks up the painting to show you, and he basically it is a painting of a small white cottage that has a lot of there is ivy that is crawling up it, and it has a spattering of similarly rainbow flowers that are growing along the vines and in the grass painted on in the trees. The grass painted in the painting. I don't know why I said in the trees. And Sammy points at it and says, "This is my house of paint." And he turns around and puts it onto the neighboring brick wall of the house next, that is in between the theater and the next building, and takes a step back, and before your eyes, the painting turns into a very familiar door, that the same door that was the house of paint that was depicted in the cottage in the painting, and the house kind of grows out from around the door.
That's how did you do that?
It's a magic painting. I got it from Glorps.
I don't know what that is, but I don't know what that is, but that sounds really cool.
Glorps is a shop. It's run by a very lovely lava-based toon.
Oh, another shiny rock place. Okay.
Mm-hmm. If you want, I can show you where it is, and you can buy cool things from Mix Glorp.
I would like that very much, but also, right now I'm looking at your garden and your very lovely home.
Sammy laughs, and he's like, "Yeah, we can shelve that for another day." But yeah, this is my house, and he gently pats it. It's like, I can put it in my hammer space and take it wherever I am going next.
So you can just live everywhere.
Mm-hmm. Sometimes plot drags me places, and it's better to have a space that I can call my own and not have to worry about getting rained on, so to speak.
Sometimes I have to go and do things too, but I always make sure to go back to my garden every night.
That's good.
Hey, can I trade you a flower?
Oh, yeah, sure. Oh. Amy, do you have a pond?
I do.
Perfect. Come on, I'll show you another flower that I have here.
Okay.
Sammy leads you to a fountain that depicts a woman with rainbow glass blown hair, and she's wielding a spear, and from the spear is where the water falls into the fountain. And in this fountain, as Sammy's kind of explaining, like just kind of talking about this flower, you notice that there are these black lilies that are floating in the pond. And as Sammy is speaking, his voice lights up in basically the black lilies light up in a shooting star of blues and purple and of like a lilac and yellow.
Mira, that's so pretty.
And if Amy talks, Amy would then realize that it is also reacting to her voice.
Probably leans over close to one and goes, "Hello."
How do you think Amy's voice would look like?
Probably more similar to her palette, like cyans and greens and maybe a little bit of yellow.
Yeah, those colors ripple across the lilies as she speaks. And Sammy scoops one up and holds it out to Amy, and he says, "This is a voice lily. It likes water, as you can see, and it likes displaying your voice."
Oh, they're very friendly.
They're very nice. Here.
She kind of like hesitates, actually, and then she takes it. She puts that in her hat as well, and now I need to pick a flower for you. Do you like cats?
Yeah, cats are nice. My brother actually has a cat.
Okay. Uh, hmm. And she takes off her hat. She puts the voice lily into it, and then digs around a little bit more and takes out. Oh, perfect, great. Uh, how do I put this into words? It's it looks kind of like lavender. It's purple. It's got all these little blossom buds, those things on
Mm-hmm.
it. And all of them are in the shape of little cats. And they each meow as soon as they're like pulled out of the hat. They each start meowing and kind of like they're talking to each other. Um, some of
Sammy
them are
immediately
purring.
starts meowing back because this boy can talk to animals.
Oh!
I don't know if that would work because it's a plant, but his immediate instinct is to meow back.
I I don't think that it would really work, but they probably meow back at him like trying to mimic his tone.
There's just a back and forth of both the plant and Sammy trying to mimic each other, and it goes on for a full minute before Sammy just kind of shakes his head and grins at Amy, and it's just like, I love them.
These are catmen. They're very friendly and very cuddly, but you gotta take care of them or else they'll get upset.
Of course, can you tell me what they like so I don't upset them?
Well, these ones don't like water as much.
Mm-hmm.
Clearly. Um, they do like food though, actual food, which is
Mm.
pretty weird for a plant.
Mm.
Um, Also make sure that you don't have them anywhere near where you're sleeping because they do like to yell in the middle of the night.
Sammy kind of snorts and nods. Okay.
Cat treats are very good for them. They're
Okay.
like uh actual cats, but less scratchy.
Mm-hmm. No thorns.
No thorns. And she hands up the pot to him.
He gently takes it from her and just he's beaming at Amy. Just garden buddies.
Also, the petals are very soft.
Yeah, I honestly think he is very gently petting the catnip.
Oh, I love them.
So do
Garden
I.
trade. Little flower trade.
Yep, just a little flower trade.
I'm really excited to put the flower. She forgot the name of the flower. In my pond later. It's really pretty.
They're called voice lilies.
I remembered that. I knew it.
He just gently laughs and just like ruffles her hat again. And they're also safe to put in your hammer space.
Yes. They'll be safe in there. They'll be great. They'll be safe. I won't carry them around until they're home.
Do you want me to walk you home? Or are you
Oh
good?
yeah, sure.
Okay. And I feel like we could potentially end the FPS there with Sammy walking Amy home.
This seems like a good place to end it off.
Mm-hmm. Thank you, everybody, for listening to Garden Tours.
It was very sweet. I love them.
I love them too. All right. Bye.
Bye.